Hi Sam.
Hi Jack.
How you doing, mate?
We love it. I've not even been funny yet.
Because it's been a while, hasn't
yeah.
it? We get these sort of odd little breaks here and there, don't we? Where we
I was saying that to someone today. Actually, I went and had a bit of cake and coffee where we went to Nutshells the other day. I fully intended on going to the gym first, coming back and then going with you to have coffee and cake.
Yes, that was the original plan, wasn't it?
I walked past and I saw them and I went in before the gym and had coffee and cake. So
I went out without, but you had a really nice time.
And it was lovely. Jack.
What's the name of that place again?
Nutshells by the Sea.
In
Felixstowe.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. But I said to them that with our podcast, because we are so busy, both of us, with our lives. Our lives are hectic, aren't they? And I think both of us as characters need that sort of life.
Oh mate, yeah.
Distract ourselves.
100%. Yeah, I'm a busy person, and I have to be that way just to function.
And we'll go like 2 weeks without doing a whole podcast, and then essentially we'll do 3 or 4 in 3 days. But it's good. I prefer it that way. It just works, doesn't it? And instead of getting stressed and worked up about it needs to be done, just let it naturally happen. And we've got some good guests lined up. And
like I say, the people that we get on, they sell the podcast. Do you know what I mean? We put their story out there, and people tune in if they're interested, and that's how it will just naturally grows. And I still get loads of messages from people, and people asking about the show and saying they listen to certain episodes.
And I think how it's naturally happened with so many different people's stories, and that is it's got more people listening to it because there's so many different stories that a lot of different people can relate. So. And I'm a comedy genius, and I was going to say you're the looks of the operation, but you can't see that on the podcast. And I'm pretty good looking as well. Why? Why do I say it?
You know this goes out to people.
Oh, I know. Oh God.
What?
Anyway,
changing the subject. So we're in the month of November, and I've been growing my mow.
Oh, is that why you look? Never mind.
Don't say that. So it's Movember, and I decided to go. So I finished up on my month away, and that was the end of October. And my last day in the hotel, I decided to shave off all my beard and just leave my little tash. And
it actually really suits you.
I've had a few people say that.
Yeah. Hide your face a bit. I'm sorry. The coffee's really good at the Nutshell.
But yes, no. So we're in November. I had a couple of injuries and issues off the back of like London, and I thought the best thing to do would be to take a break. I haven't really done that.
No.
So I carried on doing shit through November. I done the Movember 10k in Ipswich a couple of weekends ago, and then the following day I done the Scenic 7 out at Stowmarket. I had a lot of pain. But that was all right. I got through them, and I was quite happy with my Scenic 7 time. So.
How was your knee? Because you
great.
had that horrific bowling injury.
Oh yeah, do we want to talk about that?
Yes.
So that was a couple of days before that weekend, wasn't it? So like I said, from off the back of like Scotland and London, I had I was a bit worn out. My hip played up and my knee played up. I just think I'd overdone it a little bit, and
Well, you're not really built for running.
No, I'm not. No.
You're massive. How tall are you?
6'5".
So about just a foot above me. Yeah. Move on.
But I'm not built for it. So
because if you were in a boxing ring, you'd probably be heavyweight, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, so in the amateurs, I boxed at super heavyweight.
Yeah. So to do a lot of this running and everything, it can't be good. No. It's not good on anyone's knees or ankles.
So that's why I stretch.
But the size of you.
Yeah, I've done stretching and yoga for like the last, I want to say 5, 6 years. Because backtracking a while. I got at one point, that was just before I started my training for my current job. in Bury St Edmunds. This is a bit of a tangent, but I'll come back to where we were. It's fine. But I was in Bury St Edmunds, and that was this time of year, a little bit later, and there was. Have you been to Bury St Edmunds town centre?
Yeah, my mum and dad used to have a gym.
You've got the Apex Theatre right in the centre, and there's the car park underneath it.
Yeah.
So I feel terrible, isn't it? So I parked underneath here, and then they've got these concrete steps that come up out of there, and you come up right slap bang in the middle of Bury St Edmunds.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I got to the top of these stairs, I didn't notice that there was a whole sheet of ice at the top, and as I sort of stepped out from the stairs, I literally just went whoop and fell right onto my tailbone. And I thought I broke my tailbone, genuinely. From that point, I just had excruciating lower back pain all across my back, and like shooting pains down the backs of my legs. Actually, I know where this story is going now. I just remembered. This is going to be similar to your story that you talked about on the last episode, where it just went off on that tangent about you going to get checked for a...
Yes, go on.
Anyway, so this is my version of that.
Yes.
This is Jack's.
Yes.
We need a little jingle. This is Jack's opening up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had this excruciating pain, really bad, and I was in the middle. I was just about to start college for my current job. So I was, oh man, this is really bad. I need to fucking get this sorted. So I managed to get home. Lots of pain. I got in a hot bath. Didn't work. I got like some spray, put like deep heat on there just to think that might loosen it up. Went to bed. Woke up terrible. Could barely stand up. So I got to the GP and went into the doctor's surgery, explained the situation, and the doctor said, "Yeah, we can have a look." He said, "But there is one thing we've got to do, and that's just to check that there's nothing adverse going on here, and essentially I needed to have a finger up the bum."
Yes.
So yes. So this, I believe this was the first time that I'd had a finger up the bum, but it was the first
professionally, or
so
okay.
I've professionally. No, let's just clarify. This is the second time. Says 3 times professionally that I've had a finger up the backside. Right. The first one.
Is this the same bloke?
No, different doctor each time.
I've hurt my knee. I'm going to have to stick my finger up your bum.
But they're all quite close together. This is all within about 2 years. Yeah. All for different reasons. The first reason was off the back of a friend of mine died very sadly of prostate cancer, and he was quite a young lad.
Right. And
it caught him completely out of the blue and wiped him out, and that freaked me a little bit because he was younger than me. So at the time, I just thought, fuck it, I know you know, generally you're supposed to, is it 40? Men are supposed to go get checked.
Yeah, I think you get an MOT at 40.
Yeah. But I just thought, no, fuck it, I'm not happy, so I want to go and get this checked. So I did. So I went and got and had a finger up the bum. All clear. Anyway, this was the second time. So part of checking to see if your tailbone is broken, they need to put a finger up your backside. So yes, I had the great pleasure of lying down, dropping the kegs, and the doctor lubed up.
Did you use the leg stirrups?
No, I didn't use the leg stirrups. But the doctor, he was very thorough, shall we say, and it was quite uncomfortable, but it was fine. There was no break. He just said that I'd done some muscle damage.
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me, yeah. But yeah, so off the back of that, I got some, I think he gave me some painkillers, but that was the heavy shit, codeine, like real heavy painkillers, and they didn't make me feel great, so I think I only done a couple of days.
You've got to be careful with them as well. A lot of people are addicted to
Yes, they are. Well, they're an opiate, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're addictive. So I came off of them within a couple of days because I didn't like the way they made me feel, and I was just left with this terrible pain. And I ended up
the back or the...
No. Let's move. We're moving away from the butthole now, Sam. Moving away from the butthole.
That's what I had to do from your butthole in Scotland.
Here's what I found.
Even Siri's kicking off because you're going off at a tangent. Anyway, so yeah, moving away from the butthole. I was left.
Can I just explain? I meant because you kept farting when we shared the same room. That sounded dodgy. Just played it back.
That's exactly what people are going to think. So
I was the doctor. Sorry, God. Serious convo.
Yeah, so I ended up with this horrible sciatica in all down the back of my legs. That was awful. It's just like a real shooting pain all down the back of my legs.
Is this did they do an X-ray then on your monkey?
They wanted to, but off the fact that the doctor was happy that nothing was broken, I still had good range of movement when I was warmed up, and that was the key point. When I'd warm up, if I'd go to the gym and I'd spend like half an hour warming myself up, it would completely die off. So I was like, oh, okay, there's something to this. So I ended up linking up with a physio, explained all the situation, started doing some exercises, and then through my own exploration on the mighty power of Google, I found DDP Yoga.
Yes.
So DDP...
He's healed a lot of people, hasn't
Diamond Dallas Page, former professional wrestler,
Yeah.
World champion. He was a bit of a legend back in the day.
Yeah.
But he's now got his own yoga company, yoga business, yoga dynasty.
I've seen some videos with people that are crippled and can't walk, and we've been
He's completely changed their lives.
Yeah.
And he's done it with.
And they've been told they will never walk again and stuff.
He's done it with quite a few pro wrestlers as well. So pro wrestlers who have
they put their body through some
terrible injuries and their bodies are wrecked. They get in DDPY and they extend their career or they just improve their living.
That's interesting.
So I started this. Obviously, I had physio. I started exercising. I got really into everyday stretching, lower back, my legs, my shoulders, my back, and over a period of time, this sciatica just went. I don't have it anymore. The only time it creeps back in is when I just completely stopped.
So what?
I stopped doing everything. Like if I have like a week off and I don't engage in anything, I just sort of.
Are these videos on YouTube or have you got an app?
Yeah. So at the time it was I could get them all on YouTube, but now he's like pulled it all in, so you have to pay for access to them.
Yeah.
But at the time, I just watched them on YouTube, and then I remember all the exercises.
So you paid for the exercise?
I did. Yeah, I don't need to anymore because I know it all.
No,
I have like a routine that works for me.
Do you do the same ones every day?
Yeah. And
So
honestly,
you don't have to just mix it up and everything.
No,
you can show me some of them then.
You got a long way to go.
You just looked at my belly when you said that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But honestly, I totally swear by it, and that's why whenever I encounter people who have like lower back pain or sciatica, I start asking them like what's their kind of lifestyle and what do they do? Do they warm up when they exercise? Do they how often do they stretch? Do they do this? They make it part of their routine because that's what you have to do to improve your way of life. Because a lot of people, when you have that sort of pain, and it's very very common. But it can completely wear you down, and it can make you miserable because you just feel like you can't do anything.
Definitely.
I've got pain.
Definitely, and your body and your mind's connected.
And you think that's it. Like I'm never going to be able to do it, but you can get past all of that.
I was going to say, there's so much to be said for these different techniques and tools that you can use. Like cold water is just one of them, but like breathing exercises, stretching, and yoga there's a lot to be said, not just for your physical health but your mental health as well. There's two twins that I follow on Instagram. They're happy pair, vegan, and they're vegan and they've got their own little food place and that, but they jump in the sea in Ireland all the time and they do stretching. They show themselves stretching and doing this meditation every morning.
Honestly mate, I make a point of doing it every day and I feel so much better for it. Even if I'm not going to go out for a run or go to the gym or do whatever, I always make a point of it. It's like I'm playing football again tomorrow night, and I will before I go down there, I'll be at home for at least half an hour just stretching and going through my routine.
Yeah, it feels good as well.
It does, mate. It's too right.
There's lots to be said. I got told I had that long COVID, didn't I? We've got a guest coming on soon to speak about that, haven't we? Yeah, we do. Yeah. I put a post up about it, and I'm quite fortunate to get people from different places all on the same journey that follow me in that, and a lot of different people from different areas of not just the UK but abroad and that as well have told me about an acupuncture mat. I've got it in there. I've been using that regularly and doing the Wim Hof breathing. And I feel like 10 times well, I feel pretty well. The only symptom I have now is shortness of breath sometimes. But I was getting. Can you remember when I was on the phone to you and I was out of breath just talking to you on the phone? Like,
yeah, I think.
Stop looking at my belly.
and you just walked up some stairs at the time.
Yeah, but I was getting out of breath just from going to here to the kitchen to get a drink, and that's not normal, and that's why I freaked out a little bit. Yeah. But then we've also got to take into consideration that I am a massive hypochondriac.
Are you?
Yeah. and that's not going to just go away. That's a condition. No, you can improve it.
Yep.
With things you do and your lifestyle and giving us drinking and taking drugs. And
it's about like reprogramming.
Yeah. But you've got to also be aware when you're a hypochondriac that you are a hypochondriac and you might be overthinking things because that's what a hypochondriac does. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So whatever the case may be, I'm feeling a lot better. Yeah. And I generally believe that acupuncture mat, it really does relax you. Although sometimes it relaxes you too much. I fell asleep on it the other day. When I woke up, in true hypochondriac form, I thought I was paralysed. I can't move.
Oh man!
And then when I finally peeled the bloody thing off my back, I was laying in bed. My back was all warm and everything. Like I've overdone it.
Yeah. Anyway, getting back. What was my original? I was talking about Movember, wasn't I?
Yes.
So I finished up on my working away in Hemel Hempstead. Still recovering from my injuries.
We went bowling and Jack went down like a sack of shit.
Okay.
It's because I was winning. Hey, can I just point out as well how rude the people that work there were?
Right, yeah. Now let's tell the whole story on this, right? So we met up. This was prior to going and meeting Lucy. No, it was after, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So on that day,
because both of us were very, very emotional after that. See,
I
get emotional all the time.
Yeah.
You with your job and stuff, and just as
heavy,
a character, you don't show or you hide your emotions very well. You couldn't do it that day. There was a moment in the car where both of us very lovingly comforted each other, didn't we? And I think we bonded.
Yeah, no, we did definitely. That was one of them experiences, and I'm not going to deny the fact there was 2 points in the middle of that interview with Lucy where I felt myself welling up a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was that really did affect me, and I think afterwards. I think it was really important. We needed to have a debrief.
Do you think that's why, like subconsciously, we've had a bit of a break, both randomly?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
That was very. It did like. That just shows as well her bravery. I think. Yeah. Like you think us two listening to that story, how much that affected us. There's nothing in comparison to what her and her children are going for. Mate. That's why I'm so passionate about helping them.
Yeah,
and that as well. And even if we can set up this thing and just get them a family holiday, I'd be happy with. But the ideal, realistic goal I'm aiming towards is people's generosity to try and get these kids the help they need.
Yeah.
Like, no matter, but you shouldn't put a price on that. They shouldn't have to even pay for it. I don't think. No. But anyway, we went off track.
Yeah. Anyway, so on this day, so we'd finish off with Lucy, and we weren't in the best state of mind, so we decided to go into Ipswich and have a bit of a debrief and a bit of a. I don't know, just to try and lighten things up and just relax and have a bit of a giggle, didn't we? So we went bowling, didn't we? So,
we did.
So we went into Ipswich Butter Market and we went into the little arcade bit and we were walking around, and I think at first we just wanted to use the toilet, didn't we? Because we hadn't.
Yeah, we were waiting for my friend to come and join us, weren't we?
And
And then,
so this was your first experience of the hospitality. So shall we describe it as? At this place.
It's in the Butter Market, the bowling up the top, isn't it? We walked in and we were waiting for Donna. And we were just like plodding around waiting for her to turn up. So we went up to the counter and I said, "Can we just use the toilet? Where is it?" And she went, "Only customers are allowed to use the toilet." But really, like rolling her eyes sort of thing. I said, "Well, we are customers. We're going to bowl." And she sort of wanted proof of that. Really, just give me the key to the toilet. There weren't even a key. No, but she was like, "They're there." I thought, how rude. And but we
batted it off, didn't we? We said nothing of it. We thought, whatever. Yeah, we'll come back in a minute. We'll have some bowl and they'll cheer up.
Yeah. So, and then Donna come out.
Yes. Yeah.
Turned up and I was playing for the bowling and the woman pointed to the boy sitting on the floor. I don't know why he was on the floor, stocking up fridges maybe.
Yeah.
But she pointed to him. He rolled his eyes at us, didn't he? And was like, as if we were bothering him. Was like,
yeah,
yes. Like, can we pay for the bowling, please? They just didn't make it. And she stormed off, the woman who didn't like
really, that was really
really rude.
That was a hardship, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not like either of us are rude people either. So I was just
we're like, do you know what I mean? We're customers, and we're here to like pay. And we're not here to mug you off.
Yeah, and then when we were bowling, you collapsed.
Right. Yeah. So let's get on to my side of things. So we started bowling, and I didn't have the best start. I started crap, to be fair, didn't I? And
I was just on fire.
Yeah, you started strong, didn't you? You just straight away went right into the lead. I think
they used to call me Sammy Tenpin bowling.
They didn't.
No.
Donald was quite close at one point, but then you pulled away. Yeah, it's like the first half of the game, I was nowhere near you. But
it's hard to see behind you when you're so far in front.
You and Donald were pretty close, and then you just pulled away. But I think I had probably about 4 or 5 bowls left, and
you went down.
Yeah, I got into this stupid thing of like just trying to fucking huss the bowling ball down the alley as hard as I could. And
you went with it.
Yeah, well, so I was walking up to the lane, and I put.
Looked like you were swimming.
I put my left foot out and sort of went down to do the bowl, and my left leg just kicked out from underneath me. I ended up like half doing the splits, and straight away I felt my left hip just overextend.
Yeah.
And I was and I just went down. The ball went off, and for some, this is the funny bit. So I was completely out. I was flat on my back, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Totally on the floor, but for
she
some reason,
told you off.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that. But for some reason in my head, I thought. I don't know why, but I thought like I might have like bowled a strike or something. I thought I'd actually hit the ball. Not at all. I didn't hit anything. Straight into the gut. Yeah.
So did you? Essentially.
Then something in my mind was like, Sam will come and pick me up. He'll come and give me a hand. And then out the corner of my eye, I just saw you come over, and I could see you had your phone in your hands,
taking pictures,
and I heard you laughing.
Oh yeah.
I
uploaded it to my story there. And
so then I was there for another moment, and I just thought, I'm going to need to get up here. So I struggled like fuck to get up onto my feet.
Yeah. To be fair, if I wasn't laughing so much, I would have helped you.
Thanks, man.
And then she come over and put, she's helping him.
Yeah, so
all them marathons and you injured yourself.
Oh no, this is the irony of it all. And it was literally that was only a couple of nights before. I've been playing football as well.
Yeah.
And I had to explain this to my governor the following day, but I'll get onto that as well. So I got up off the floor, managed to get myself onto the seat. And I was in quite a bit of discomfort.
And it looked like it as well.
My knee was hurting, my hip had overextended.
Your pride was out the window.
Yeah, I felt really shit. I was like, this is terrible. But then the absolute classic moment of the entire day, I'm sat there in pain. And this manager comes over.
The one who told us about the toilet.
The rude one, right? She comes over, and her first thing she says to me was, were you just lying down in the lane? And I looked at her and I went, yeah. She said, yeah, no, my colleague just said they saw you on the cameras. You're not meant to be doing that. That's actually really dangerous. And I just looked at her and I went, I actually fell down. I was like, I'm actually injured. And then I just instantly, I saw her face drop, and she went, oh, she said, did you need first aid? And I went, no, not anymore. Thank you. And
that was a turning point for me. I liked her after that.
And I was completely dumbfounded. And then I turned to you and I said, do you know what she just said? And then I told you, and you were just fucking wetting yourself. I couldn't believe it. Generally, I was like, wow, I've actually hurt myself. And their first response is, what are you doing? Unreal. Anyway, from that point, I then had to use the frame, didn't I, to bowl a couple of balls.
Yeah, you did.
Because I was struggling. And then you smashed it that first game. Hands down, you dominated.
Yeah, and then I felt sorry for you in the second one.
Let's be accurate, all right? So the second game then started, and old Captain Injured over here came into his own, didn't he?
Yeah. Some might say hustler.
Yeah, I suppose I did, really. I suppose I did. I hustled the shit out of you. And I came back and won triumphantly. In fact, I scored 2 strikes on my last 3 balls, didn't I?
I can't remember that bit.
Yes, you can. You can. You can, because I stood at the end of the lane celebrating for quite a while.
Yeah, like the injury never happened. And then I told the woman that you were laying back down.
But yes, so
I'm quite a sore loser these days. I never used to be.
Yeah, and that is one thing I did notice.
Yeah, I never ever used to be competitive.
You've done this amazing year, and everyone loved you for it, and all this amazing stuff that you do. But
if any of them beat me in anything,
when it comes to competition or anything like that, you're a real horrible person.
No, I don't. You're right. No, you're right. Don't touch me. You beat me. But you're right though. But I never ever. My brother was very competitive when we were growing up.
Streak,
I ended up in a neck brace once because my brother hit me round the back of the head.
Yeah, but doing like penalties or something.
Penalties. We were using tennis rackets. Remember the old plastic blue tennis rackets? We were using tennis rackets as goalposts. And I celebrated and see my mum in the kitchen, and I see her face change, and I thought, oh God. And then I just felt this crash around the back of my head. My brother hit me with a tennis racket when I saved his penalty, and I ended up in a neck brace, which was pretty dramatic to be fair, but I got a bit of time off school.
But that's you though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I milked it.
So we had a lovely time. One game apiece. I did offer you a third game.
Yeah.
But you declined.
Yeah. I thought I'd quit while I was ahead because I absolutely smashed you in the first game.
Yeah, no,
second game
generally
was very close, so I thought
that wasn't close.
It was.
It wasn't. No, I beat you by a clear
if you
25
added,
points.
If you added all the scores up,
I
that's
still
only because you
beat
got
you.
3 strikes.
I still
that
beat
I don't
you.
remember.
So combine both the scores. I still beat you.
Absolutely not. You used the thing, which is cheating as well.
That was in the first game.
Doesn't matter if we're combined in both games, Jack.
Oh, God. Anyway, moving swiftly on. We had a really nice time, didn't we? And it was a good way to finish the day. But then the following day at work, I was in pain, and my
makes me feel a bit better.
So my gov immediately thought I'd injured myself in the staff football game, the night or two before. So I had this awkward moment of having to tell him that no, in fact, Gov, I said actually football, I was absolutely fine. I ran all night, no injuries. I even ran home, absolutely fine. Felt great the following day. Bowling fucked me.
Marathons, mountains with rocks tumbling past you. You miss them and you don't get injured.
Yeah.
And then I take you bowling, and it was nearly curtains.
Fucking bowling, mate. Honestly, absolutely unreal. But yeah, so I then that weekend went and done them 2 runs, and then this past weekend I've just done the Movember march that I did, the 21 miles from Ipswich to Felixstowe and then back.
Nice.
All along the River Orwell.
Amazing.
Yeah, and that was great. I got a really early start. Still pitch black down there, which was pretty freaky actually. I didn't think I was scared of the dark, but it definitely had me on edge because when it's pitch black and
dark,
you know there's no one around either. So it's the worry that if I do fall over or I get stuck or anything like that, I'm not in a bad way here.
That's why I opt to sit on the sofa in the warm with the light on. Sleeper.
I did actually ask if you want to come do it with me, didn't I?
Did you? I must have missed that message.
A little while ago, but you said you were
busy.
You weren't feeling well. Or you weren't feeling
That's not
well.
like me.
You're Captain Paulie these days.
Yeah, well, I've been my whole life, Jack, and I don't know what's real and what's not.
That's true.
It's a fun game. I've got some fun stuff coming up.
Have you?
I've they done the draw last night actually on May. I've been invited. There's a great sober community on Instagram.
Okay.
And they've invited me to be a part of a nude calendar, sobriety calendar.
Yes,
I'm going to rock out with my cock out.
Finally, the fans have been crying out.
I know.
To see your bits.
Yeah, there's 12 of us, and
you're going to do it.
Yeah, but I'm going to involve the beach in some way.
Okay.
Obviously, I might use my beach hut. Hopefully, not get nicked.
So are they coming down to do the photo shoot, or can you do?
No, we're going to. Donna, my friend, the girl I've been seeing, she's going to be taking the picture.
You just said that on the podcast.
Yeah.
So it's official then?
Not official. We're seeing each other. Shit. Yeah. She's a very nice girl. She's going to take the pictures for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then probably take them before I get in the water.
Yeah.
Don't want.
What is that?
I don't want Captain Pecker being really small. You just in the size of it when you get out of the water. Cold water therapy.
Yeah, no, mine's still absolutely massive.
Tiny. Mine's always small. It's the only small thing about me.
I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it? It's rubbing off you.
That was brutal. Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh, dear me.
But no.
He's gone red! Yes!
So yes, no, that's wicked, mate. I'm really happy for you. That'd be wicked, mate. That'd be really cool. That's a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
And yes, for a good cause.
There's some great people involved in it as well. Yeah. So yeah, happy with the Hoochers doing it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, happy without the hooch. Happy without the hooch, not happy with the hooch.
So's Michael.
Michael, yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, there's a bloke Sober Dave. He's doing it. He was he's got thousands of followers on Instagram. He was on a TV program with Peter Andre where they renovate people's homes and stuff.
Okay.
But I've watched a lot of his stuff, and he's got a podcast as well, and it's very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Yeah, I like him. He's a very good character. You know, some people you're just drawn to. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get him on here actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to even talk about my little trip up to go do the mountains as well. I did 2 more mountains, didn't I?
That's not like you. I can't keep up with you.
No, I did, didn't I? This was that was the week that I finished up at working away. Yeah. That weekend, I travelled up to the lakes and done Skiddaw and Helvellyn.
Oh yeah.
I know. I forget about all this shit.
Well, I can't remember when you. Normally, when I speak to you, you're on a mountain.
Because we were going to go do Scarfell, weren't we? This is it. This is. I remember now. We were going to go do Scarfell, and we kind of penciled in a weekend in which we could do it. Because I said I'm finishing off that week. Yeah. I said so I'll be free. I said we'll go up and we'll get them done. But you were still not feeling great. So I just thought, fuck it. I've got the weekend. I'll just go and do it myself.
I am going to be doing Scarfell and Snowdon but I'm going to be doing it in the new year now. I think I'll keep putting too much bloody pressure on myself to do things.
Also, it's the worst time to be trying to go and do a mountain weather-wise. It's crap right now.
Yeah, the weather don't really bother with me and you really. I was starting a forklifting this year.
Did you see the weather on top of Helvellyn that I posted? That wind?
Don't bother me, mate. I'm made of stronger stuff.
Seriously though, you saw that video, right?
Yeah, I'm not pussy.
I had me twitching a bit, mate. I'll be honest with you.
You're a pussy.
Genuinely, I was like, "Fuck!" Like that's definitely the worst wind I've ever had.
Listen, mate, you can't even bowl. So you're talking to Sam, the Mountaineer Phillips here.
Jesus,
I've done the biggest one in the UK. Have you just? Ben Nevis has got Sam Phillips' face on a flag at the top of it now. It hasn't, but that'd have been a good idea. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to do them in the new year because got the World Cup, daughter's birthday, Christmas. I'm looking forward to this year.
Yep.
Work's going really well.
Good. You're in a good place.
I'm in a really good place, and I've got a lot to be thankful for. And that is what I remind myself every morning. Still practicing gratitude.
I know we don't celebrate Thanksgiving over here as much as what the Yanks do, but generally that is the time of year where you start to sort of think about family and the things close to you.
Yeah, well, that's what I try and do every day now.
Yeah,
and that's what my program taught me. But if you look at, I'm always putting on videos and stuff. Anytime I do the washing up and stuff, I always put something on like motivational and everything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of motivational speakers out there, and we're in a good time where we can do that and listen to it on YouTube and they will say the same thing. And they're all at a place in their life now, and they work and practice gratitude. And it's all easy for us all to dwell on the things we haven't got all the time. But if we switch our focus and appreciate the things we have got, you're planting positivity into your mind. Do you know what I mean? If we've got some soil now and I put like poison in it or weeds, say, weeds will grow. But if you put roses in it, roses grow. And it's the same with your mind. You put something positive into it and something positive will happen. If you put something negative into it, negative things happen. It's just the way life is. I went off into one then.
No, I like it though. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
An attitude of gratitude will change your life 100%.
You're just throwing quotes at me now.
Yeah, no, it's true though. I genuinely, that's what's worked for me. Do you know what I mean? Since I've started, you get bad days obviously, but since I've changed my mindset and take a moment to recognise my thoughts, because if things start getting a little bit negative up here, I just have to reset myself, and then start thinking of 3 or 4 things that I'm grateful for, and just as simple as that, you automatically switch from negative to positive. Yeah. And it is a good tool to have.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'll tell you what also has been helping me is getting back in the water this time of year. Yeah. My God, what a difference, mate.
Well, I've been doing cold showers again, and even them, they're a game changer.
I mean, it's been about a week, I think, since I've been doing cold showers at home, but when I went down there about a week ago, down to Felixstowe, next to the pier, with the group, I'll never forget the morning. That was still really dark. It was raining. I stood there. I was like, I felt so like, I don't want to get in there. I was like, this is going to be. I just did not feel. Yeah. I didn't even want to take my hoodie off. Like that was how bad it was. I just felt like, oh man, this is terrible. I just want to get in my car, get to work. Oh yeah, no, I can't be asked. But I didn't. I stood there. All the guys were there. They're all having a laugh and a joke. And I just thought, no, fuck it, let's just do it. Took my hoodie off, went to the water, got in, took a moment, because that really took my breath away, and the water was a bit rough that day, but fuck me, within a minute and a half, I was literally I was singing, and just paddling around in the water.
And that's what you've got to remind yourself as well, and that shows good discipline as well.
I felt amazing.
The best advice I could ever give anyone is, if you don't want to do something, do it anyway, because on the other side of that is growth. And
mate, and I had a great day, and it's such a game changer.
Yeah, and whether it's a cold shower or getting in the water or whatever it is you want to do, or you don't want to do, for doing something for 2 minutes uncomfortably, if it's going to have a massive positive impact on your day, push through that barrier, step out your comfort zone, say fuck it and do it anyway. Yep. And you will see a massive, and I go back to it, and I'm not saying out of ego, but I've done a year-long challenge, and in them days, there were so many days I didn't want to do it, but I thought, fuck it, I've done it anyway.
100%.
And them days where I didn't want to do it are generally the days that I benefited most from it. You know what I mean? And it's not just that day you benefit from it as well, because you think the next time you don't want to do it, think, well, I've done it that time, this is how I felt. So you're training yourself to be disciplined. Yeah. And which is something clearly that I've struggled with in the past, self-discipline. Yeah. And I still do with some things. But it's a work in progress, and I'm working on it every day. And I get into the
honestly, and the water is, I mean, it's bloody cold this time of year, but the impact it has on you, is so different to when it was back in the summer. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy going in there in the summer. Yeah. But now, and going through into
it's a seasonal thing.
January, February, it's just like, oh mate. Yeah. And it actually makes me want to go and do proper ice swimming. Yeah. Like those crazy people. I've just been watching the Chris Hemsworth Limitless on Disney Plus.
People have been tagging me all day in something that was on BBC last night as well. Have you seen that? What? BBC last night. It's Cold Water UK or something.
Oh, is it?
I'm going to watch it, but sorry to interrupt you.
Okay. But he done this episode 2 of his new series Limitless, and it was all on cold water therapy. He had Ross Edgley, who was on there as well, who was the bloke who swam around the whole of the UK. Yeah. And we went up to somewhere up in Scandinavia, but he'd done an ice swim. But that whole episode was about the benefits of cold water therapy, and there was actually a stat on there that Ross spoke about where I think there was a study done, I think it was either Finland or Sweden, somewhere like that, where anonymous sort of workforce, so they got in with a business and they got the whole workforce to start doing cold water therapy, and they reduced the absences they had over a 6-month period.
I can quite believe
they reduced it by 30%.
Yeah, I can quite believe it, mate.
And I just thought, wow. I said, I was like, how much more of an incentive do you need? Like that improves your resilience, it improves your immune system, and I'm just like,
There was a number of people off when I first started that challenge off the docks, and one bloke in particular had been off 4 months. There've been a couple who've been off for a month. A couple were backwards and forwards to work but kept getting signed off with depression. I'm in contact with all of them people now. None of them have had a sick day since they've done cold water therapy, and it didn't just work for me. It's not just worked for hundreds of other people. It's worked for thousands of other people who've had the same result. That's not coincidence. There's no coincidence to why there's so much talk about it and that why there's stuff on the TV and programs and everything. And it is so beneficial. We live in an amazing time to be alive.
Yep.
We do, because we've got like the stuff we've got, like social media, like the computers, TVs, access to information. We've got shops that sell food. We don't have to go and hunt for our food. Everything. This is the best time you can be alive. But it's also a very negative and stressful world sometimes. Yeah. But what the cold water does with anyone who suffers, and we're human beings as well, we are designed to be filled with anxiety, because without anxiety we wouldn't survive. You need a certain amount of anxiety, but it's about getting that anxiety under control. Mm-hmm. And when you have panic attacks or something, I've said it before and I don't mind repeating myself because I'm passionate about it and I want people to try it, because it's worked for so many others and it's no reason why it won't work for you as well. But when you're over anxious or panicking attacks, not even panic attacks, just really anxious and overwhelmed, you're in a state called fight or flight.
Yep.
And when you get into the water every day, you put yourself in that state, which is crazy. It's like when there's a massive wood fire, they fight fire with fire. That's why that saying comes about, fight and fire, but they control it with smaller fires. Yeah. This is what you're doing essentially when you get into the cold water. You could put yourself in a state of fight or flight, but it's a controlled state of fight or flight. So you're training your brain each morning to deal with that. So now, in the afternoon where I'd normally have panic attacks, because it'd be like a cycle thing for me, I recognise certain times where I'd be more anxious than others. My brain goes, okay, we're in a bit of fight or flight now, but I know how to deal with that because you've been practising it every morning. Do you know what I mean? So it settles it down. You fight fire with fire. Was you expecting more from me?
You good, you are.
I thought you was expecting me to talk more then.
No, that's good, mate. But yes, generally, I've totally incorporated cold water into my life. That's just part of my, along with my stretching, which I've spoken about. That cold water, regular. Also been going to Aqua Springs in Colchester a little bit more regularly. To do the sauna and then the cold water plunge, and I alternate it, and I'll do sort of 3 sets of that, and that I feel amazing after that, going from hot to cold and then back and forth, and just that has a massive benefit for me, and I don't think I'd ever stop now. I could see the benefits of it, and that's just a massive improvement. And I think genuinely, for longevity wise, being a bit bigger bloke, I've still got ambitions to do a lot of endurance stuff, and there's a lot more things I want to achieve. So I need to make sure that my body doesn't fall apart.
No, and practicing cold water, that's another thing. Yeah. You're giving yourself the best chance. Yeah. When you're at school and you banged your knee, inflammation formed, and there'd be a big bump on your knee or something, and they give you an ice pack to put on it, and it would shrink the inflammation.
Certainly
a lot of people don't know that we get inflammation inside of the body that you can't see as well, which causes things like stress and anxiety and that. If you get into cold water and everything as well, it does the same thing as what an ice pack would do on your knee, but with the inside of your body. You're shrinking inflammation. When you've got less inflammation in the body, it's a very healthy way of living as well, because stress and that could cause a feeding ground for things like cancer and stuff and that as well. So the less you've got to give yourself the best chance at this life anyway, and that is a very effective tool, both mentally and physically, to practice cold water therapy on a regular basis.
And on that note, Dead of December is just around the corner.
5 days, 7 days, is
it? Yes, Dead of December, right around the corner. Every day of December, we will be doing cold water dips.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The fucking sea has been rancid lately.
Mate.
I've been doing a couple of other dips. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get down to at the normal time as I'd like to. But I've been conditioning myself and doing cold water showers and everything. Like I say, I find it very effective anyway. But if you're going to be going in the sea every day in December, you need to have been doing some prep work towards it now.
Certainly do.
It's going to be a whole nother challenge as well because the waves are quite big and
They have been, haven't they? As I was saying that morning I went down last week.
Yeah.
That was bad. I had to clear some waves whilst I was down there.
I went in the water on my own the other day up here, just a bit further up the beach before work, a bit later on. I won't be doing it on my own. But it's good fun. But
oh mate, it's great.
You should. It's probably a good point to anyone that is taking part in Dare to Dip December, especially when the waters are rough and that. Don't get in on your own. Be sensible about it, and just if you haven't done cold water therapy before and you are taking on the challenge, I would highly recommend you start off just doing showers, to be honest. But there'll be plenty of us on the beach, I'm sure. You're doing it, aren't you, Jack?
Certainly will be, mate. Yeah. I plan to be down there most mornings, other than days when I've got my long shifts. But I'll be having cold showers.
Are you doing Christmas Day in the city?
Yes, I will be. So very fortunate this year. I haven't got to work Christmas weekend or New Year's weekend, so I will be down there getting my cold water dip on.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
That'd be good to get a lot of people down there.
Merry fucking Christmas.
Merry fucking Christmas. Merry fucking Christmas.
Genuinely, I love Christmas, mate.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah, I actually I had this debate at work. That was last week or the week before, but we ended up talking about Christmas and like the magic of Christmas and when to tell kids about that. I said to them, I said, well, that magic has never actually died in my family because my mum has kept that going
Grow up, mate.
forever. So my brother cruelly spoiled that part of Christmas for me when I was about, I want to say I was 6 or 7, I think, and he spoiled it for me. But when I went and spoke to my mum about it, she didn't break character. She just held strong, and there's something quite lovely about that. And I was like, whilst I was out with like a group from work, I texted her and I was like, Mum, I said, there's like a debate going on right now, and people sort of asking whether the big man is real or not, but he is real, isn't he? And literally 2 minutes later, I got this text come back in capitals. Yes, of course he's fucking real! Exclamation marks. And
do you still get a sack at the end of your bed, Jack?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Christmas is real, mate.
Coal. There would be coal in it this year if he was real.
Why?
Because you're a badass.
No, I'm on the good list, man.
I'm going to get you some Vaseline for your doctor's trips.
For fuck's sake. Got to flash it back to that, haven't you, hey? Having a nice conversation about Christmas and how awesome it is, and you have to go back to my butthole.
Yes.
Yeah, you do you? Anything else you want to talk about, Samuel?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm so glad for once in my life then I thought before I spoke.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Well, partially. I've got a few things coming up. I've got a couple of little trips. I've got obviously Christmas around the corner. Yes. Do you want me to talk about Newcastle, Sam? You know what I'm like. I'll quite happily. I'm an open book. I
think we should. Oh, it's up to you, mate.
What do you want me to say about Newcastle, Sam?
What are you going up there for?
So yes, I started talking to a very lovely person, and as it quite often does with me, someone who just come completely out of the blue, didn't expect it, and
it's very pretty. You showed me a picture.
Yeah.
Out of 2, I'd definitely give her 1. I'm sorry.
You're probably going to listen to this as well. You know that.
My number is 07.
Oh, mate. Wow. No, she's it's weird. Like, you know how I am, and I literally just we just clicked, and I'm going up to see her in a couple of weeks, and
I'll get a suit ready. I'll sing the ring.
You're such an idiot.
I'll sing the ring. Probably wrong choice of words after the podcast.
Anyway, other than good things going on, as always, please like and subscribe. YouTube, Spotify, Add me on Instagram, Jackie Boy Shep. Add
me on
Sam on Instagram.
Dare_2_dip.
And like and subscribe on all platforms. Yeah. Join us on Facebook at the Dare to Dip Facebook group. Ask to join. Lovely group every day. 6:30 weekdays, 7:30 on a weekend. All year round. There's always this amazing group of people down there. They're so welcoming, they're so lovely, and they're always there to have a chat. And Steve still brings his hot drinks down there, and is always really lovely to people. So please join us for Dare to Dip December. Post your pics, add the hashtag.
Yeah. You know what I ain't said in a while?
Oh no.
Peace out!